Hello, everybody. Hello. We have with us again the man of men. Nobody anywhere, any place knows the Constitution and the Bill of Rights better than Judge Andrew Napolitano. And if you could find somebody, please let me know. Because the judge just came out with an article, it's going to be out tomorrow, about his doing a debate about the Constitution with a top general. And the article that he's coming out with tomorrow, it's a great name, is the CIA in your underwear. They're everywhere, so they must be in your underwear. Hi there, Judge.
Hi, Gerald. Good morning. I wrote a piece about 10 years ago called "This the CIA in Your Kitchen," and my bosses at Fox said, "This is crazy. This is insane. We can't publish this." And I said to them, "Did you read the article?" "Well, no, we don't have to read the article. We read the headline. Of course, the CIA is not in your kitchen." Okay. The article recounts that David Petraeus, then the head of the CIA, gave a talk that he thought was secret to CIA analysts and revealed that CIA outside vendors had figured out a way for the CIA to lock onto the computer chip in a microwave in your kitchen and in a dishwasher in your kitchen and monitor communications that were nearby the microwave or the dishwasher. So is the CIA in your kitchen, not literally, but digitally, virtually? Fast forward to today, is the CIA in your underwear? It sounds absurd. If you ask that to a friend or colleague, they'll think you're nuts. Unless, of course, they saw the presentation made to Congress by Avril Haines, the director of national intelligence, who last week, she made the presentation in writing. She actually made it digitally. Ha. While Congress was on vacation, while Joe Biden was asleep on the beach in Rehoboth, she announced that the CIA just spent $22 million to develop textiles to go into shirts, pants, socks, and underwear that will allow the CIA to monitor audio, video. I don't know what they can see from underwear, video, audio, video, and geospatial location of the wearer of these garments with these threads. 22 million of your tax dollars. Actually, there were even more tax dollars involved because two of the labs that helped develop this are universities owned by the government. University of Virginia, founded by Thomas Jefferson, turning in his grave, owned by the state of Virginia, and Penn State, owned by the state of Pennsylvania, helped develop this along with DuPont and 25 other lesser known American and foreign corporations. So what does this tell us? This tells us what we already knew. The federal government's appetite to surveil us is insatiable, bizarre, and has reached the point of being disgusting. Its respect for the natural human right to be left alone, protected by the Fourth Amendment, is non-existent. Its fidelity to the Constitution is utterly non-existent. Your reference to a debate I had was with General Michael Hayden, then the director of the NSA. He challenged me to the debate. I accepted the challenge. It was at the CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference, then held in Maryland outside of Washington, D.C. And when I challenged him about the absence of fidelity to the Constitution, he said, well, the Fourth Amendment requires reasonableness, and my 60,000 spies are reasonable. After about 10 minutes of laughter died down, I said, the Supreme Court General, as you should know, has ruled that all surveillance without a search warrant is unreasonable and unconstitutional. Well, the Fourth Amendment doesn't apply to us. It only applies to law enforcement. Baloney. Read it. And I read it. There's no exception for intel. It applies to all of government. How do you know that? Well, it was written in the aftermath of British intelligence agents banging down the doors of colonists' homes, ostensibly looking for stamps, compliance with the Stamp Act. They were really looking for subversive material. Well, if there was subversive material, they should have found it. What the king considered subversive material, we consider the founding documents of the country, General. That's the way the debate went. But it shows you the mindset of the federal government. Seize what you can, grab what you can, spy wherever you can, the Constitution be damned. That's why I wrote this. As I wrote the title to attract people's attention to it. But the public needs to know what the government does in its name and with its tax dollars.
Yeah. What you just said about this the general piece of crap, the arrogance that you just really pointed out, the arrogance of these people think that they have the rights above us. We can do anything we want. And in the beginning over here of your article, you write 11 years ago in this column asked if the CIA was in your kitchen. Folks who read it, only the title of the column mocked it. Yet then CIA Director General David betrayed us. I think you spelt it wrong. Gave a talk to CIA analysts that he fully expected to be kept secret. In the talk, he revealed that the CIA vendors had discovered a means to log on to the computer chips in the kitchen microwave ovens and dishwashers. This guy, again, an arrogant betrayed us. This is the arrogant clown. Do you remember when the Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner Obama became president, when he lied his way into office as a peace candidate? And what did he do? What was it? The name of the operation, Enduring Freedom or something like that?
Oh, you mean where they bombed and destroyed Libya, then the most prosperous country in Africa, while Congress was on spring break and he was in Brazil? That stunt?
Yeah. He got 33,000 troops Petraeus was in charge of in Afghanistan.
Oh, it gets even worse. Petraeus, if you ever see him in uniform, because he doesn't wear his uniform anymore because he's retired, but if you see his uniform, which is basically a costume filled with all kinds of ribbons, some of which are battle ribbons. I said to one of my guests, was Petraeus ever in a battle? And they hesitated and said no, but his troops gave him a live grenade once, and he threw it into an empty lot so he could claim that he was nearby an American explosive device and thereby qualify for this additional ribbon on his chest.
Yep.
At the time he gave this speech, which embarrassed him because one of his agents revealed it, and it helped the American public understand how the government violates the Constitution. He was the director of the CIA. It only lasted 13 months because of an affair that he had that he lied about, which I don't think should have deposed him from it, but that's the way they treated him. He showed a remarkable indifference to the Fourth Amendment, just like everybody that runs these spy agencies does. They don't care about search warrants. They don't think the Constitution applies to them.
No.
When Obama bombed Libya, he used CIA assets and claimed it wasn't the military. Well, they dressed like military. They looked like military. They fired military weapons. But he's right. They worked for the CIA. Therefore, he didn't need a declaration of war in his mind. Therefore, he didn't have to report it to Congress in his mind because it was the CIA. The CIA has become a private, secret, personal military that works for the President of the United States. That's how dangerous it is, with no accountability whatsoever.
And this guy betrayed us. You know what his current job is, right?
He's a mouthpiece for one of these Defense Department or military industrial complex funded think tanks.
He's on KKR, one of the biggest firms, KKR.
Oh, Colbert Kravis Roberts, right?
Yep. Yeah.
I think he's vice chair.
That own most of the corporations of America. They buy up everything. Again, like George Carlin said, it's one big club and you ain't in it.
Right.
Again, think of this guy. A murderer in Afghanistan, Iraq. Then he becomes a CIA director. Now he's with KKR. Maybe it should be KKK, And again, these are the people that are, and then you talk about the CIA. Look at all the great accomplishments they've achieved. Name me one thing that we're so proud that the CIA has done.
It doesn't exist. unless you're proud of overthrowing the government in Kyiv in 2014, overthrowing the government in Iran in 1952, suggesting that there be friendly fire in Miami in 1962, so that could be blamed on Castro, assassinating JFK. These are murderous thugs on the American payroll who are lawless and operate outside the Constitution.
Yeah. Yeah. And if we say that, they may assassinate you and me too.
True.
And that's what RFK Jr. said. He said that the CIA killed his father and his uncle, JFK. You know, this is terrible what's happened to this country. And you go on, this article is very, very informative, and everybody should really read it. And about, you say, you can't make this stuff up. The federal government's appetite for surveillance is quite literally insane.